Hey everybody, welcome to a brand new IGTV episode. Cassandra with you here. You can find out more about me, the books that I write at cassandravon.com. You can also check out my books directly on Amazon at overcomingfearbooks.com. So today I'm asking a question and it comes directly from one of my most popular books. And the question is, have you outgrown the box? So think about that for a second. Have you outgrown the box? You know, the box that we keep ourselves in, the box that holds us back, the box that we think was built through other people's expectations and other people's opinions of us and their lack of approval of us, when in fact, we are the creators of the box and we are the holders of the key that could unlock us out of the box. Now, where does this idea of the box come from? I'm going to read to you an excerpt from my book. Love It Till It Lets You Go. It's in fact, Love It Till It Lets You Go is available in Audible format. I'm starting to get all of my books on Audible now, and it is the most popular Audible download of all of my 26 plus books, because a lot of people want to understand, how do I let stuff go? So I'm going to read to you one of the things that I say is a sign that it's time to let go, which is sign number 2, you outgrow the box or other people. And let me just read you this quick excerpt, and then we'll talk about the fact of asking the question, have you outgrown the box? So sign number 2, you outgrow the box or other people. For many of us, we confine ourselves to limiting beliefs that we have about what's possible for our lives. Eventually, those limiting beliefs form a box around us, a box that can't possibly contain the fullness of who we really are. There comes a moment where who you really are takes center stage in your life, whether you want it to or not. And you can't hide that anymore. You can't confine the greatness of you into a smallness that fits into the box of the life that you created. It no longer works. Before you know it, you wake up and realize that you've outgrown the box or other people, and oftentimes both. Let me read that last line. Before you know it, you wake up and realize that you've outgrown that box or other people, and oftentimes both. Now you can read Love It Till It Lets You Go. You can get it at overcomingfearbooks.com. You can also look for it on Audible. I highly recommend the Audible. I narrate all my own stuff. But I want to talk about this whole idea of, have you outgrown the box? I think a lot of us we're afraid to ask and answer that question. You know, the box represents so much confinement, and at the same time, so much comfort, because we're used to being in that box and we're used to blaming other people for being in that box. But the reality is every next level of your life is going to require a next level version of you. So you're going to spend, if you're truly fulfilling the callings of your life, you're going to spend your entire life breaking through one box and then another box and then another box. And so asking the question, or delaying asking the question, have you outgrown the box, is really a way to keep you stuck. And it's a way to keep you in a space where you can stay in the comfort zone of being in what you're used to, blaming other people because you're stuck in that comfort zone and they're holding you to being in that box, but not fully owning the fact that the only reason you're still in that box is because you're more afraid of what's outside of the box than you are of staying in it. And so if you feel, and trust me, you will always feel when you've outgrown a box in your life, if you feel like you've outgrown a box or some people in your life, I'm going to say a couple things that I hope really reach you. The first thing is, don't judge yourself because you haven't yet chosen to take the courageous step of breaking the box. It happens differently for all of us, and I cannot predict to you when it's going to happen for you. I just know that it can, and I know that it will the moment that you're ready. So no beating yourself up about being in a box if you're still in one. The second thing I want to say is, there are lessons in the box that you can fully get only while in the box. So while you're in a box in your life, while you have outgrown it and you know it's time to move on from it, just be sure before you actually break the box and leave the box that you've said, what are all the things I was supposed to learn in my time in the box? Have I fully learned them? How am I going to remember the lessons when I move to the next box or the next level of my life? And really jot down those lessons in a journal. And the third and final thing I want to say, Never be afraid to ask the question, have I outgrown this? This situation, this experience, this job, this business, somebody I've hired, somebody who's hired, have I outgrown it? And a lot of us are afraid to ask that because of what comes next once you truthfully answer the question. But I want you to realize that when you realize you've outgrown something, it's not necessarily true that you leave it. You also have the option to transform it. So if your fear in answering the question, have I outgrown the box, is I don't want to be forced in a situation where I've got to leave something, look at it a little differently. Maybe you don't leave something you've outgrown. Maybe you simply transform it so it grows with you. It's not necessarily leaving, but it is transforming in one way, shape, or form. And leaving is one way to transform a situation, but it's not the only way. So don't fear having to leave something you don't want to leave because you've outgrown it. Ask yourself, is there a way to transform it? But either way, still ask and answer the question, have I outgrown this box?